But on the other hand, it allows you to be very skilled at a lot of things and to have a wealth of knowledge in a lot of complex issues and things where you merge them together and to be successful. If people are very narrowly focused, they're less apt to be successful unless they want to be a scientist. That you have the narrow focus. In our business, a lot of it has to do with generalities and be able to adapt. And so I think that it's really the same thing. It's both a challenge and it's a positive, and the key is to be as sharp as you can possibly be and learn as much as you possibly can be in all avenues of what it is that we do. And it covers the gambit.
Terrific.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say thanks to MPRA for this prestigious honor. I mean, it's very special to me. As you heard Larry talk about, I'm not one of you, if you want to look at it that way. I come from a very different background with a mining engineering degree. But I think what that talks about, or what that tells about this organization, is that it's very open to ideas and the work of people from all different backgrounds. And I think that's important. If you really look at it, the people who judge what we do and the performance of what we accomplish are people who don't have a degree in Parks and Recreation. They're out, for some other way. And I think that that's good. I think that you always need to remember who you work for. That's who's going to judge you, whether you're a success or not. I mean, it's true that the peers may pass out awards, but in terms of what you really accomplish and in terms of your success, it's the folks who you work for, and that's the citizens of the community where you live and where you put in your time getting a paycheck. And that's, of course, can be a city, et cetera, et cetera. But it's those folks who judge you. And I think that one of the things I would ask, or not ask, but I would pass along to all of the people who obviously are following me, and in terms of this profession, and of course that's all of you in this room, whether you're in the profession today or you will be, hopefully, as a student and move on down. But that's solicit ideas from outside your comfort zone. Look at other areas of the world and other professions for good ideas that can enhance what it is that you do. Think out of the box. It's a cliche, but I mean it. Think differently. Bring people into your world that do think differently and listen to what they have to say. Then act on your own decision with the ideas that you feel are best to accomplish the best things you can do in your community in terms of its quality of life. And I firmly believe that if you do that, you will be a success. As Larry said, maybe I didn't think out of the box all the time, but I did a lot. And I had good mentors, Ford Hughes, Norb Wappors, Bob Hall, I mean, go down the list. Randy Vessel and I spent many hours out of my cabin having a beer, and of course we had steaks, and sometimes we talked in different things. He's the liberal side of life, I'm the conservative side. As you might imagine, although I may not look that way, but I am. But anyway, I mean that it's important that I think that you do that. And I think that if you do so, your communities will judge you a success. And they will really believe in what it is that Parks and Recreation is all about. Because I'm going to tell you, it's different for everybody. Your community is full of all different people, and how they measure that is really from their own life experiences, but also from the way that they look at quality of life. And that's an individual thing. And for that, I say thank you. I thank all my mentors. I thank my peers who have worked with me. And of course, the people I worked with over here from St. Charles and St. James. But most of all, I thank everybody. I thank the people who enabled me to do what I did. And that's all of you in this room, everybody in my community as well. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. I've always gotten a lot more out of Missouri Park Recreation Association than what I ever put in. The friends that I've made here are too many to count. The stories that we help create get better every year with the telling. But I think the thing I really want to say tonight is that, you know, too often we get tied up with the importance of numbers and budgets and acreage and facilities and just too many numbers. And we overlook the thing that's most important, and that's people. And guys, I owe so many people for the success that I've had. The mentors that I had, no one could ask for better mentors. Some of them will be here tonight. Parks and Recreation Board members through the years. Talk about commitment. I had one board member that served 62 years on the Parks and Recreation Board in the service for that community, and another one that put in 35 years. So when you have that kind of commitment and support, you should have some success. Had a lot of good city councils members, some good city managers, professional staff people to work with, and then a lot of good Parks and Recreation staff people. And those are the people why I'm standing here tonight. And then fortunately, back several years ago, I picked up a heck of a really good co-pilot in my wife, Sandy, who's helped keep me straight. And I'm very honored tonight that my brother and his wife and my sister have all come down to share in this evening. Again, I can never begin to thank MPRA for all the opportunities that I've received here. I can never begin to thank enough people for all of the mentoring and all the opportunities that I've received because of MPRA and the people that are in it. Lifetime memories, lifetime friends. Thank you very much for this evening and the honor that's been bestowed upon me. Thank you.
Okay, that's not the talk, but we'll talk about it. I need to start by just saying thank you, first of all, to all of you, because a lot like what Richard said earlier, you were all my mentors. Whether you were a whale of a lot younger than me or a whale of a lot older than me, I was encouraged by your enthusiasm and your passion for this field and for what we do for our public a great deal. And I thank you for giving me the fire and the passion. Next, I want to thank Kim, Marcy, the people that wrote the nomination and did that, the folks on my staff and my family and close friends who are at those two tables there for being behind me for the whole time and things. That's very important to me that y'all are here. Next, I'll go ahead and thank the committee, but I want you to understand that I started on that committee a couple years ago, and I'm the one that wrote the first draft of the criteria. And at a meeting, I told them that I don't fit that criteria and they should never put me in here. I thank them for disobeying me. But I told that same statement to my wife, and she said, well, if you don't think you deserve it, maybe you ought to go do something and earn it now. So let me tell you real quick a little story. There are 7 people going in this class. 6 of us carry a common denominator. 6 of us have either graduated from the University of Missouri or taught at the University of Missouri, or both. Only Richard is the oddball, and Richard, you've always been an oddball, but you are also the smartest person I have ever known in the field of Parks and Recreation. And he's also currently the happiest one that I've encountered this whole week. Richard's in love. Okay. Someplace tonight during Susan's award, congratulations, Susan, it was mentioned that she was one of the founders, or if not the only one or whatever, but the driving force to create a scholarship in honor of Randy Vessels, one of the people we're going to honor in a few minutes. But more importantly than honoring Randy is the fact that it's going to be $25,000 or more that goes into a pot at Mizzou that stays there forever, and the interest goes to scholarships for students, and we keep the passion burning. And that's really important. There's bad news. Yesterday when I arrived here, our time frame is running out. We don't have much more time to meet their deadline of raising $25,000. I was told we were at 17. Susan's gone to work. She solicited 2 very large donations that have really helped it a lot, and then she turned to me and said, "Go raise the rest, David. I'm getting close. I need your help." That's what the pad's for. I'll give it to Nikki Thole now. I'm going back to the trail. In April, I intend to hike 2,650 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail. I want pledges from everybody here that can possibly afford it. A penny means $26.50 to you. And this all goes to scholarships for students in Parks and Recreation at my alma mater, University of Missouri. Thank you all very much.
Yes, I am standing up. On behalf of our family, I would really like to thank you for honoring Dad with this award. As you know, he could be quite a storyteller, if you knew him at all. And this afternoon, I heard quite a few stories about him and his work. And after I heard these stories, I realized that we really did not know the extent of his involvement with NPRA or his impact upon the organization until today. I wish he could be here. I know he'd be honored as well. Thank you so much for adding to our memories of him.
Daughter made fun of me a while ago because my notes are that big and that bold. But when you get as old as I am, you have to be able to see them. I'm extremely proud tonight and honored to be receiving this award. Thanks to NPRA for this honor. And what a great recognition. I've always heard it said that one of the best recognitions anyone can have is to be honored by your peers. And I consider each of you a peer of mine, and it is a great honor. Another thing I'm extremely proud of tonight is to go in with the group that I'm going in with. One of my management principles when I was a director was surround yourself with capable, competent individuals. And that has happened again tonight. All of these individuals that are going in with me are very, very capable in their position and needless to say, very deserving of the honor that they have received also. I'd like to thank my family, my parents. My parents gave me the opportunity for an education. I was one of the first in my family to go on for an education. They also gave me the opportunity to succeed in whatever path I chose. I can recall the day yet when I called up my mom and dad and told them I was going to get a master's in Parks and Recreation. They were very, very supportive. It was fairly new at that particular time. I was the first one to apply for a degree at the University of Northern Colorado in the field of Parks and Recreation. And it was fairly new, but they were very, very supportive. I'm extremely thankful tonight to my wife, Pat. She's been supportive for me, but believe it or not, we've been married for 50 years. And she's put up with all the things that you know that she's put up with. That makes for a public service.